¿Qué tal? Muy buenas tardes a todos. Hello, good afternoon everybody. Thank you for being here today. Gracias por estar aquí hoy. Today is our walk that is bilingual. Okay, entonces voy a estar hablando en inglés y en español. Who speaks Spanish here? Somebody? Yes? Hello? Okay, I have a tendency to speak very fast, but I'll try to slow down a little bit. And today you get a chance to practice your Spanish if you haven't practiced for a while. Entonces, today I want to, before we start, introduce our artist to you today. I want to thank all the associations that came together to make this our walk and the whole fiesta possible. First Lane Arts, and then if you have your brochure, the Our Walk brochure, you can see all the organizations that were part of it. There's a lot of them, so I won't list them all, but please take a time to see how many people came together to put this. Entonces hoy quiero agradecer a Lane Arts por hacer esta fiesta y este evento, y también a todas las organizaciones y todas las personas que hicieron esto posible. Y si ven en su volante del tour, ustedes pueden ver cuántas organizaciones participaron. Ok, entonces hoy les voy a presentar a nuestra artista Mila Murphy. Mila es originaria de Rusia, pero ha estado viviendo aquí en Estados Unidos por bastante tiempo y fue estudiante de la Universidad de Oregon. So Mila is originally from Russia, but has been living in the States for a while. She will tell us a little bit more about that. And she was a student at the UFO, but I will let her tell us more about her life and her art. So please welcome her with an applause. Thank you, Mila.
Say hello, everybody.
Just anything about your life, how you came here, how long you've been here?
I'm been here for 4 years now, yes. And this guy doesn't want me to talk. Yeah, I came from Russia, and before I came here for the past 12 years, I lived in Moscow, and I really like Eugene. I think community spirit is really great here, and we just had the opportunity to walk around, and it's just, you feel like you're home. I feel like I'm home here. So thank you so much for the students.
Entonces Mila dice que ha vivido aquí en Estados Unidos por 4 años. Dice que le gusta mucho Eugene porque se siente como en casa, que es muy rico poder caminar por las calles y hacer las cosas aquí. Le gusta bastante esta comunidad. So, Mila, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your art? How long you've been producing art and what inspires you to produce it?
How long? I don't know. All my life, since I remember, I was drawing. Not mostly flowers, no, everything, and I graduated from art school first. Sorry. And then from art college, and I worked like graphic designer, but I always had passion for art and for watercolors and graphic, and this series is acrylic. It's actually my first trying, but I was really enjoying it.
Entonces Mila nos dice que ella ha estado haciendo arte desde que era niña, que estudió arte en la universidad, pero que la inspiran muchas cosas, las flores, que ha pintado con acuarelas, pero también este medio que usa ahora es el acrílico. Does anybody have any questions for Mila that you would like to ask her, particularly about her art or anything else? ¿Alguien tiene preguntas para Mila sobre su arte? ¿Algo más que quieran saber? Yes.
What? So you design dresses as well?
Graphic design, like books, layouts, and business logotypes, and all this sorts of stuff. But my last actual graphic design work, like graphic designer, was for Winter Olympics in Sochi, and I would say it was the best job ever for me. It was really interesting, and So, but I'm working like freelance designer now. So.
Pues Mila dice que ella también trabaja en diseño gráfico y uno de sus trabajos más grandes fue para las Olimpiadas de Invierno. Dice que ha sido uno de los mejores trabajos que ha hecho y trabaja con empresas haciendo logotipos y otras cosas así. Any other questions for Mila? Anything else you would like to ask? Or Mila, would you like to tell us a little more about your art? So, white flowers. What is it about this that inspires you to paint?
This particular series, it's my way to say goodbye to my husband who died 2 years ago, and it's maybe more like a relief. It's not tears, it's more happiness that I finally found a peace with him being gone. But he's still in my heart. This guy it reminds me about him too. So it's really full of happiness series, and the flowers. I don't know. I really but somehow it just came in my head that I want to draw these poppies, red and California poppies, and I don't know what else. Maybe next it's going to be something just different, but this time it was poppies.
Thank you, Milan. I'm sorry about that. You have a very beautiful son. Thank you for sharing that with us. Mila dice que estas flores fueron una manera de decirle adiós a su esposo que murió hace 2 años. Entonces no sabe muy bien por qué, pero las amapolas de California la inspiraron como una manera de obtener paz y de poder decirle adiós a su marido. Y pues que ahora tiene su bebé que está muy contenta con él. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have any more questions for Mila, or you want to have a little time to just look at her art. I don't know, is there anything else you would like to tell us, Mila?
I'm too shy.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Gracias a todos.
Thanks for coming out on a limb and for supporting us. Halloween will be my 5th anniversary here, so that's going to come around to party. And tonight, if you have any wood questions, that would be me. If you have any map questions, the famous cartographer Dave Imus is right here. So if you have any, you've always wondered something about a map, tonight's your night. So thanks for coming.
You know that September is a Hispanic Heritage Month because a lot of Independence Days happen in this month, including Mexico and Chile. So this is why we celebrate September as a Latino month. So on the 15th, we're going to be in the Springfield City Hall. So if you can join us, the Mexican consulate is coming. We're going to have piñatas and a lot of fun things for the kids. And then on September 16th, the Lane Arts Council's 40th anniversary. So that's really exciting. Congratulations. So this is a great institution in our town. So we're very, very grateful to have them. So that's going to be at the Fifth Street Public Market. So I'll just say that, please continue enjoying the celebrations. There's still things happening at Kissy Square. Then there's Carlos Cascante y su tumbao. They're going to be performing until 8:30 tonight. And afterwards, you can meet us at the Barn Light at 924 Willamette for the Fiesta Cultural. Okay, so thank you very much for being here. Muchísimas gracias. Espero verlos pronto en otro evento, en otra ocasión. Muy buenas noches. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. It's the city did not turn the air conditioner on for us, which I'm deeply disappointed, and offer my apologies, but we're not in charge of this here, so I guess we get what we get. Can the people in the back hear my voice good? Okay. I'd like to introduce the front porch players. Christine Sauer. We're going to play an assortment of Americana, music that we think is the most beautiful written. And I will give you a brief sort of introduction. You didn't come here to listen to me blab, so I'm going to keep it brief. If you have a question about any of these, I've got a list here. I can tell you where to find it. Almost all of them are on YouTube, so we get a lot of stuff on YouTube. So you can find them all, and then find more information about the cultures and all that. So starting out, the first tune is what? South Winds. South Winds. It's also known as a song with an Irish whistle. Got a lovely recording on YouTube. Look at it. I mean, they've got the scenery, the fire line going on. Beautiful. It's a beautiful song. Played on that. We're not listening to it.
Thank you.
tonics while they're playing and decided that alcohol doesn't improve this food. They're getting us pure today. So they have Our next tune is one you all know, probably grew up singing at school. Shenandoah. We're not singing.
You'll thank us for that.
We don't have a rich baritone. Next tune is another carol named Hewlett, not Hewlett Packard, just one Hewlett. Texas-style swing player who plays to. And it's attributed to Luther Thomason, Texas, circa 1980, circa 1900.
Well, I'm going to be doing not so much jazz tonight, although maybe a little bit of it has a bit of a jazzy sound. I'm going to be doing a lot of my own music, more singer-songwriter as well as some of my favorite covers. So I hope you enjoy. Yay! We're all friends here, right? Yeah. I'm getting buried underneath a crumbling castle, while the pretty kingdom you built up falls down. The ones who treated me like royalty, that doesn't mean anything now that you've stripped away the crown. Who was that little girl who gave in so quickly to the notion that a prince could make my life sound? And as we ride away into the west, my only regret is maybe should have built my own damn house. At my side, I covered my eyes, letting you lead me through my life. And now that you let me fall, maybe I'll fly someday. I'll learn to fly, maybe I'll fly. What fairy tales would have to offer me? Guess only your love and my lost identity. But she's coming up, and when she finally blooms, maybe she'll be somebody's more substantial fantasy. With you at my side, I covered my eyes, letting you lead me through my life. And now that you let me fall, maybe I'll fly someday. I'll learn to fly, maybe I'll fly, fly. With you at my side, I cover my eyes, letting you lead me through my life. And now that you let me fall, maybe I'll fly, and I'm free enough to decide, enough to realize I don't even like castles anyway. And now that I'm free to fall, I'll fly. Someday I'll fly. It's essentially about living in the moment rather than the future or the past, which is harder than it sounds for most of us, myself included. It's called Life is Not a VCR. It's the working title. Nobody really wanna get old, no. We all wanna hold long to stomp on and smash the cruel hands of time. Everybody wanna stay cool, but don't know the new rules that keep changing as soon as we think we've caught on. Why don't somebody shake us, tell us to wake up? The time is what we make of it. Nobody wanna be young forever. Life looks so much better when seeing the freedom of maturity. And everybody hates all the years of the drama and tears that accompany the slow and tortured march of youth. Why don't somebody shake us, tell us to wake up? The time is what we make of it, and don't anticipate so much that we wait all our lives for our real life to finally arrive. Isn't the best place to be here and now, where we can see what's happening, happening while it's happening, happening all around. Everybody gotta be somewhere. Reality don't care. If we wanna skip it and go back to it later, we might as well relish the moment, honor and own it. It only comes around once for us to savor. Why don't somebody shake us, tell us to wake up? The time is what we make of it. Don't anticipate so much that we wait all our lives for our real life to finally arrive. Why don't somebody shake us, tell us to wake up? And don't anticipate so much that we